back. Look, we've managed to
We're
drag
back.
in.
All right, we're here.
Pancakesbrah, how are you?
What's up, man? I'm good, man. Very good. Very tired. I woke up. I was gonna wake up 2 hours before the pod and get some work done. I woke up like 25 minutes before, so I'm still in wake up mode right now. But I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good. I've had a bit of a strange day. I've decided to stop nicotine and vaping altogether. So I'm like
Yeah,
climbing the walls. I'm climbing the walls at the minute.
nice.
I've told the girlfriend to go and hide it, so I can't find it anymore.
Cool.
Um, and yeah, and I've also joined this like fitness cult called like F45 or some shit. So if you don't hear from me in a couple of weeks, I've probably like don't
Died.
know. Yeah, probably like killed myself on an island or something. So it's been a bit of a strange
Nice.
day.
It's funny. Yeah, the nicotine thing's funny. I didn't smoke for 28 years, and then I went to Lisbon for Breakpoint last year, and like everyone smokes in Lisbon, and I was like, fuck it, like I'll smoke. And then it just like since then it's just been like an off and on thing, and it's just like damn it, like 28 years no cigarettes, and they like 1 month in Lisbon did it to me. But yeah, I'm veering away from that as well at the moment.
Honestly, it's I've never really been like big, like usually I'm a little bit drunk cigarettes, but it's just that vape, man. That vape just fucking gets you first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and you realize you're just a complete whore to
Yeah,
this like electronic like cigarette. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I need to like grow a pair and like throw it
yeah.
over the wall.
Luckily, the vape hasn't gotten me yet. Every time I like hit a friend's vape, it's just way too intense, so I get really turned off by it. So I haven't given me a chance. It has like I haven't given myself a chance to get used to it yet. I think it's good, so I'm like staying away from those. But I live in Argentina now, and the cigarettes they have down here, like the menthols, are they're so much better. So it's just like I think they're illegal menthols compared to like the U.S. So I'm just like, man, this is a trap. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I'm veering away. The girlfriend's trying to get me to veer away from that as well. But
Yeah.
yeah.
What's
But
what's the move been like?
to Argentina,
Yep.
yeah, it's been really good. It's been kind of rocky off and on. I officially moved here in December, and then since then it's just been conference after conference. So I don't feel like I've really settled in yet. I've been living out of Airbnbs since December. I'm in an Airbnb right now. It looks like so I just did Japan for ETH Global. Well,
Oh
ETH
shit.
Global. We didn't go to ETH Global. We just kind of IDEX through a party with some other protocols, and I'm back now. But now I'm here permanently. Like I told everyone, like I'm not leaving the country for the rest of the year. I got to get a long-term lease somewhere. I got to get settled down. My body can't handle the traveling. I've been traveling nonstop since 2021, really, since I got back in the space, and pretty much just networking and trying to find myself a job in the industry. And now that I'm settled in and got good remote work, I'm ready to chill. So yeah, I love it down here. It's my favorite city in the world. It's beautiful. Um, all my friends that live down here that have moved down here, they're all just like, "Yo, quit talking about Buenos Aires. Like all the crypto people are gonna come down here and ruin it. They're gonna come down here and like do the Lisbon thing." So I need to shut up about it a little bit. But it's honestly a great city, man. I love it.
Yeah, I honestly don't understand. Even I know the US is a little bit more tricky now with them literally hammering down on anything that's somewhat crypto related. But even like
Yeah.
in the UK and Europe, I just don't see why people don't go to like I'm based out in Asia. I can't see myself going back home for a very, very long time.
Hmm.
Um, or South America, it's obviously it's a little bit easier for you guys getting down from that coast, particularly on the same time zone and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I just don't see people who can work from a laptop don't want to do it. Maybe they've got families and shit, but it's the
Yeah. That
standard of living is so much better, man. It's so much
people
better.
people hit me up. They're like, man, you're living the dream. You made it out. Like you're doing this and that. I'm like, dude, I'm spending a third of my cost of living down here. Like I didn't make it. Like I'm not. People think that because I moved to Argentina, I'm like super wealthy and was able to leave the country and stuff. I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's like the opposite. Like I'm able to, make normal income and live a lot better down here because of the cost of living. Like, and most people in crypto can do that. So I don't really know why more people don't. I guess a lot of people probably do, but
Mm.
especially now, yeah, with remote work, like you can go anywhere you want. Asia was actually my first choice originally. I was going to go to go to Thailand before the move, but I met a girl down here, and now I'm here. So, but it turned out perfectly, man.
Probably a good job you didn't go to Thailand single, to be fair.
Yeah. I did a month in Phuket. That was enough for me. But it's great. The Buenos Aires time zone is so perfect. It's 1 hour shifted forward from Eastern. So like, I wake up and have like an extra hour or two before everyone else wakes up to kind of like get some work done and start my day. I can start my day at like 11 a.m., which is really great. So the time zones are perfect. It like lines up well with Europe. It's honestly like a perfect time zone place, except for Asia. I don't even know what time it would be for you out there. It's got to be middle of the night, right?
It's 9:10 on the evening.
Oh,
so
that's not terrible. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just sometimes if you want, like we're trying to arrange spaces with GMX and Gamma Swap at the same time, and I think that it's just like conflicting time zones. If you want to get like specific people in a room together, it's like it can be a bit tricky, but it's just going to end up me being like doing it at stupid hours, I suppose. But for the right ones, I don't mind doing it. You know what I mean? If it helps us kind of grow, I suppose it's that'd be good content as well. So
yeah, for sure.
What's your day to day now? Like what you're mainly kind of working on? Is it primarily taken up by IDEX, or what's happening now?
Yeah, IDEX is my super day to day. It takes up pretty much all my time. It's funny. I started out there just kind of it's the way I got hired there was so funny. I was like just shit posting on Pancakes for so long, and I didn't mean for that account to turn into anything. And sorry. And then I think it was day 1 or 2, or it was like day 2 or 3 of me having that account. Like Kobe retweeted me or something, and I didn't even mean for that to happen. Like I knew all the OGs from 2017 from when I bought the top, and of course got wrecked, that whole story. And so I like knew all the OGs to follow and do reply guy stuff too, just for fun. Never meant for the account to turn into anything. Once the Kobe thing happened, I was like, oh, I might have like an asset here, like because it started growing really quickly. And then for like an entire year, I just kind of networked my way in the space. Shout out to Grug and Grug Hub. Like they brought me into their like inner circle really early, and they're like, I think from my perspective, the smartest people in the space. And from there, I just realized that I needed to network and just keep pushing. And I decided that this was in 2021 before people were really doxing as much, like the deep anon people. So I was like, I'll just put myself out there and go to all these conferences because I'm from the music industry before this, so I'm used to putting myself out there and like doing all the networking things. And honestly, going to Lisbon in 2021, Breakpoint was like the best thing to ever happen to me. I met Luke, I met Alice, a bunch of my really really good friends there. The Sino Capital guys, the Aurora guys, like everyone that I know now, really deep in the industry, was from that trip. And then even from there, it took like a whole nother year before I was like willing to do one serious post on Pancakes where I was like, guys, I need a job. Like I had like made one really good parallel pool on like their pack 2 drop or something and like sold that immediately. And that money lasted me for an entire year. And then I was down to my like last $600 and Victor from IDEX reached out to me via DMs and was like, yo, like, I like your Twitter. We need some help on the Twitter end. And, we'd love for you to come on board. And that was like the best thing that could ever happen to me. That was like the first real job offer I got in the space. I took it immediately and like, it just kind of hit the ground running. And I've been with them for almost a year now. Doing a lot more than just the shit posting on the Twitter, doing a lot more growth and BD and full marketing strategy stuff. So yeah, my day to day is pretty much fully IDEX. I also worked with Wassiverse, Inverse Bros project. So I'm doing what is it? Oh, you got that little thing? Yeah.
It's missing an eye. Can you see? I've like tried to stop vaping today.
Oh yeah. I think is that the other? Which Wassi is that? Yeah. But yeah, I'm working with Inverse Bro on his Wassiverse project, advising with them. That's been really really cool as well, and doing some other side gigs, doing some ghostwriting for some bigger meme accounts just here and there, trying to pick up as many gigs as I can in the bear market, kind of running myself thin a little bit, but doing what I can. But yeah, mainly my day-to-day is IDEX. So
nice. Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it now? because it feels like there's, particularly the past few years, there's been a complete shift. Like we put a job, we had like an open role because we needed another content writer, and I just said like, look, don't send me a CV. I don't want any of that
Yeah.
like traditional shit. Just send me your account. And
Yep.
I feel like your kind of personal brand now is as
That's
good
your
or
CV.
much better than a CV, particularly if you're being on video. And I know a lot of people don't like doing it. I fucking hate it personally, but
Mm-hmm.
I got to do it if I want Blockmates to grow. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But that kind of thing now, and I think like the younger generation, that's just going to be so natural to them. But a lot of people
Yeah.
now are still like trying to hand out traditional CVs and stuff, and they're just gonna get saturated and lost within like
Yeah.
the hot
It's
mess
just
that
there's
is.
no way to stick out at all. It's funny. I've never sent anyone a CV in crypto. Like people, since the IDEX gig, and like IDEX is doing well now, and like ever since people started realizing that was me on the account, like I just get job offers like crazy. No one asks for a CV. They're like, we like what you're doing. We'd love to have you on board. I think that's going to continue going forward. Yeah, I don't even remember, like, because before crypto, I worked for myself since I was 20 years old. So, like, it's funny, I had this huge, like, gap in my work history. I didn't even really have much I could put on a CV. I mean, I could, I ran a digital marketing agency and stuff, but, like, I never had a boss. I never had anyone that I could, like, vouch for me or like give me a good recommendation. So I kind of came in blind, and I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna prove myself? And then like the Twitter account kind of just did that for me. And that's kind of really all it took. If you can prove that you can like engage and like grow an audience on Twitter, that's really enough, at least from a marketing perspective. Like protocols will hire you just off of that.
What do you think it is about like if someone was to start out now, what it'd be like, and if they didn't have any self-esteem,
Yeah.
how would you tell them to grow a Twitter account?
Yeah. Yeah, I got asked a similar question not long ago. As corny as it sounds, and it's still something I should be doing to this day, because even though I could honestly grow 0 more followers on my account and probably be fine just based off the connections I have. But I would say starting out is literally a matter of, coming up with some kind of funny or unique persona or name or whatever. And like my profile picture was a complete mistake. I just Googled Facebook boomer picture and went to page 2 of Google and picked a random guy and like cropped his face out and put him in a universe background. And like I've tried to change that PFP so many times, and people get mad at me every time I try and change it, so it's like sticking with me. But anyway, so like I don't know, don't put too much thought into the personality or persona, but then honestly spend like an hour or 2 a day building out like lists of the most important people in the space and reply guying to them. And that sounds stupid, like the whole reply guy meme is like, it is a meme, but it actually really, really works. I was growing 100+ followers a day just by being funny in people's replies. And you can go about it one or two ways. Like you can either be funny or you can actually be adding value to the conversation. I can't do that second one for the most part because I'm very open about not knowing much about crypto. It's just I got in so late and it's just so much shit to learn. Like I'm still playing catch up, so I can't really add value to the conversation without it being very obvious I have no idea what I'm talking about. So my approach was just like be as stupid and as funny as you possibly can be, and then like there's gonna be this time period where people think you're annoying as hell and you're corny, or at least for me this is how it was. Like most of the people that really, really hated me early on have become like my best friends now because I stuck around and stuck with it. And eventually grew an account with it. So yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're starting from 0, like just being in people's replies and being someone that shows up, your account showing up over and over again. And I mean, for a really long time, there were times where I was like, this is just not worth it. Like I'm going to stop. And then of course, tweeting on the timeline, like you got to have good tweets on your actual timeline. But man, for me, it was just like months and months of the reply guy thing, under the right accounts. I have 3 or 4 private Twitter list of like the biggest accounts, most important accounts in the industry. And like I said, I still need to take like an hour in the morning and start reply guying again, because once you get a big account and you reply guy, you're top of the replies every time, so you're going to get followers even faster. But that, and then just trying to be nice to people and be good to people and not being afraid to reach out to accounts you think are like too big or intimidating. You know, I've had so much luck just reaching out to accounts and they respond immediately. I've made really good friends that way. Route 2 DeFi, like, thought one of my tweets was really funny, and I just like DM'd him one day, and I was like, man, I can't believe like you followed me. This is insane. And he ended up being one of the nicest guys ever. Same with Crypto Dog. Like, some of these really big like OG accounts that you just think wouldn't give you the time of day. Like, if you're authentic and genuine and you're not looking for anything out of the situation, people are gonna fuck with you, and they're gonna, you know, want to see you grow. I've seen nothing but positivity on my end, mainly because I've never asked for anything out of relationships with the people I've built network with.
Not a transactional relationship. Like, I think a
Ever.
lot of people try and go directly towards that, don't they? Which is annoying.
Yeah, and I've had that done to me. Like, people where I've been friends with, and like a day or two after being friends, it's immediately like, cool. So can we do this, or, you know, can I get this, or can we do this? I'm like, nah, like, I don't, you know, I can't do anything for you there. If I can help you, I will. But like, for the most part, it's like, I can't really do much for people. Something I've drawn a line in the sand myself, like, even 2 years in, I really, unless it's been something really specific that I know that person can help with, and then we're really good friends with, I'm really good friends with them, I never tried to ask anything from anyone, just at all. And it's really worked out more in my favor, because those are the people more likely to suggest you for jobs or just put you in more networks and really trust you. And another thing is being willing to go to these conferences and meet these people face to face. If you meet these people face to face, they're 100 times more likely to trust you and hire you than if you're just some random person on the timeline. That's been the biggest thing for me too. I've seen really small accounts that have really, really kick-ass jobs in the industry just because they put themselves out there and like go meet people at conferences. It's not always about the follower account by any means. So.
Yeah, and what's the crypto conference survival guide? Do you buy a ticket, or do you just get all the side quests?
Yeah, it's all side quests. I think it's pretty much a meme at this point about going. It's funny every time everyone talks about like, oh, it's so corny to go to the conference, and I'm like, bro, we're not going to the conferences. Like, none of us are going to the conferences. I've been to two. I went to DevCon, and we paid for that ticket. It was in Bogota. And it was, honestly, that was the one conference that was really, really cool. They built it out really well.
Sick.
Were you at DEF CON?
No, as I say, I was based over the side of the world, so I couldn't be.
Oh, gotcha.
35-hour flight to.
Fair enough. Yeah, but no, it was super sick. They had a really, really cool co-working space in the basement, and it was just a really good space for like anons to come together and hang out. A really cool atmosphere. It didn't feel bougie. It was all the nerds that were there. You know, it wasn't all these like new companies that were trying to shill stuff. It wasn't full of for instance, ETH Denver was the only other conference I actually set foot in, and that's because we finessed free passes for like 30 of us. We'd like walk in. They're gonna get so mad. People hear this. Like, we would have one person we'd have one person walk in with a pass, and then like once you're in, they don't check that you have a pass. So we'd sneak another pass out, give it to another friend, sneak it out. And we did that with like 30 people. So like there was like 30 of us in there for free. And I was walking around, and it was like 200 booths, and like 90% of the booths I'd never heard of these companies before. And it was just interesting to me that these companies that somehow got funding were spending $10,000 on a booth in a conference that no one's going to come up and talk to you at. And if you do, like, what's your ROI on that? Like, you to 100 people and 2 people care, as opposed to like taking that money and growth hacking on Twitter and like trying to become like, you know, an established brand on Twitter. It was just very weird to me where people decide to spend money. But yeah, with that being said, got a little off course. Yeah, the conference cheat code is just like, make sure you have a good group of friends, and then there's always spreadsheets of side events, and just go to all the side events, and you're gonna meet everyone you want to meet. No one's going to these conferences. No one you want to meet is at the conference. It's you know, no disrespect. They are doing ETH Argentina here again for the first time in a long time. So yeah, I'm DMing with the guy who's running that, and I'm hoping to maybe put just a little advisory work in there, you know, just a few tips that how to make it a little less cringy, but we'll see. I mean, I'd love to be a part of it regardless, just because it's an ETH conference. But yeah, man, just going to side events has been the move. And like, honestly, you just go to the conferences. It's an excuse for all the anons to come together and get drinks together. That's essentially it. and it's been great. And more of these anonymous accounts are doxing, like in person, and Japan was crazy. Like all my best friends were out there, just completely doxed, people you'd never met before on the timeline. Just really, really cool vibes. And that's kind of the move. I think it'll be the same going forward. People just like an excuse to come out and meet everybody.
Was that the first time in Japan?
Yeah, first time in Tokyo. It sucks. I was there for 10 days and I was sick for 8 of them. So I got 2 days of Japan, but I'll go back at some point and do the vacation thing. But yeah, first time there. I've done most of Asia. Japan was like the last on my bucket list. Other than I've been to Guangzhou, but I haven't really explored China. But other than that, I've done Thailand, Philippines, Korea, all that stuff. But yeah, Tokyo was a bucket list for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for my 30th in November. So
nice. What part of Asia are you based out of? Unless you don't want to dox where that is.
Yeah, I'll say I'm in Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia. Okay. Good. Yeah, I have no worries if you didn't want to dox for sure.
I think a few people know anyway, but I'm not.
All good. Yeah, I spent a month in Thailand and then a month in Cebu, Philippines, and like really enjoyed it down there. Just that entire part of the world was really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to get back to kind of, because I know I think we've previously spoken and you said you'd worked on is it something to do with kind of like Facebook groups and growing stuff like that? I just want to know where this kind of understanding of how to kind of grow online is kind of came from. Is that back from the music days, or what do you think that is?
Yeah, so I was, it's funny enough, I was a computer science major in university starting out. I was kind of like, it's so funny, like thinking back now, like if you would look at my account, you wouldn't even think about it, but like I was valedictorian in my high school, like full ride to university, all this stuff. And I was like the kid in my family that was supposed to like go do all these like cool, like important college things. And so I was a computer science major. I met a hip hop artist like first couple weeks that I just fell in love with his music. And I dropped out of university halfway through the first semester and just started kind of like managing him. And I didn't really know what that was at the time. I just knew I wanted to help in some way. And that kind of turned into me just like doing the PR and marketing side for music. And this was early in Twitter days. I mean, this was 2013. So this was like, I mean, internet was totally different back then. And a lot of it turned into like me just emailing blogs like crazy, trying to get their music on blogs, and then like boots on the ground Facebook marketing. I learned how to grow Facebook pages really early. And then kind of built a digital marketing agency for musicians out of that, which is how I made money through my 20s, because managing an artist, you don't make any money for a decade. I mean, it takes forever. And then, so I got the digital marketing thing all self-taught pretty much, just doing that. And then kind of found a little cheat code with Facebook in the early days of their video monetization. I would just grow Facebook pages and use copyrighted videos to upload and make ad revenue from. And I did that for about 2 years before they caught me. Me and my best friend, we started a 90s WWE wrestling fan page, and we would take we had like 300,000 followers, and we would take compilation clips from like old wrestling videos and upload them, and they would do like 1 million views a piece. We were making great money for 2 years. We were like, this is great, like life's easy. And then we wake up one day and the page is gone. I was like, shit. Yeah. But like,
how did you monetize on that?
So Facebook, now it's like pretty open to everyone, but this was when Facebook had their beta program of where it was pretty much like YouTube. They would pay you based off of based off of ad revenue. It was really, really early in their beta program, and I got networked early into Facebook with actual people in Facebook, and I had to connect there, and like because I had grown a few big hip hop pages and then like the wrestling page, and this was before they realized I was using copyrighted material. Like I was kind of I was lying to them, and I was like, yeah, we have permission, blah, blah, blah. And I don't condone any of this, by the way. I was like 23 and really stupid. So just like lied my way through that. But so I had connects at Facebook, and they eventually approved me for this monetization program. and the CPMs were so high back then, like, and it was so easy to go viral on Facebook, and it still is to this day. And funny enough, that's what I kind of preach to people is like, at least in the crypto space, like there's still there's a huge crypto community on Facebook, and no one really realizes it. No one taps into it. Like we're tapping into it now with IDEX. I know a few other protocols are, but like I learned that as well. So I'm going to be able to use my Facebook skills again, I think, with the crypto side of things. But then I still didn't really know how Twitter worked. I learned that really just with the Pancakesbrah account. Like I have a personal account that everyone knows what it is, but it's like, it's sitting at like 5,000 followers. And most of that is because people found me from Pancakes. Like I didn't know how to do Twitter until the Pancakes account. And then I just learned very quickly, I guess. It was kind of just intuitive once I understood how the algorithm worked and what it liked. And yeah, I don't know. Most of it's all just been self-taught from the very beginning. So.
It's interesting. It's interesting you should say about the a lot of projects taking a look at kind of blue oceans like Reddit and Facebook and things like that. We've literally just set our Facebook ads live for the newsletter today.
Mm-hmm.
but it's a strange one, isn't it? Because I know if I was to put out some particular type of meme set that I'd go out on Twitter, which would probably do well. That's not going to translate over on Facebook ads. You have to I think you have to kind of normie it down a lot. And all it has to be for me, in my mind, is just a scroll stopper. And hopefully we'll see what the return is on the Facebook ads for the newsletter there. But it's a strange one. I was also thinking about hiring someone who looks through Facebook groups and looks through Reddit. So Reddit, just to try and pick up on what these different types of communities are looking at project wise, because I think Luna crossed over into those two groups, and we all know how quickly that ran up. We all knew it was a scam, but like if you could have rolled that up,
exactly.
Those are the kind of people you want to be selling into, to be honest. So
no, of course, yeah. And it's funny that the Facebook community is like, I joke about it, but it's like the lowest IQ crypto people in the entire world. Like it is. Like it's Facebook groups of like 30,000 people in these communities, man, and it is just like we think we have moon boys on Twitter. Like it's not. This is another level of like that's all they talk about is like these 5 coins are going to do. Like none of them have any idea what's going on. They're just like buying random tickers and like hoping they go up, and it never works. But there is a community there, and like there's something to be extracted, and I'm still figuring out the best way to approach it. But yeah, Reddit's one that I haven't figured out yet. I've never been a Reddit kid. I don't understand it at all. I know there's people that do. That's my next step is maybe trying to find someone to maybe convince IDEX to bring on the team to like really dive into Reddit. But that's a mysterious world to me. I don't even really know how Reddit works or like how to start. Yeah,
I think you need someone who is in the weeds with Reddit. Like for me, I've got it on my phone, but it's never just, like an instinctive move. It's probably something that I'd do if I'd worn out the algorithm on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
But that'd probably be the third one I'd go to. But I think it's really powerful. As you say, it's a lot of kind of it's like a blue ocean of community, and like you can kind of tap into it. But I think you need someone who like knows, who can navigate that arena, I think, personally. But
yeah, I only go to Reddit if I have like really weird questions. Like I don't like, or like really I need like really specific walkthroughs on something, but like I don't even know my Reddit login. Like I just kind of go to the web, like the web app. But that's something I need to kind of brush up on. But right now I can't say too much, but we're moving into the Facebook space pretty heavy. And obviously still Twitter's, it's still your bread and butter for anything crypto. Obviously, like building a community that's trusted on Twitter is going to get you farther than anything. And that's kind of, I think more crypto companies are moving away from that the traditional like Web 2 very serious Twitter account, like always being serious, and every post is like a project update, blah blah blah, to like kind of like a meme page mixed with like a personality, mixed with like a shit posting type of page. Like if you look at IDEX, like we're the Coinfessions page, so we're now the official sponsors of Coinfessions, and like that all came about because that all came out because for like I realized like the power in like once I got on IDEX, I was like, all right, CoinFessions post at the same time every 4 hours. So I would set an alarm on my phone and I would just make the funniest, most unhinged, like sometimes borderline, like maybe not okay reply to CoinFessions. I got in trouble a couple of times, but like, but every single time I get top comment, and then CoinFessions reached out and they were like, "Man, your comments are hilarious. I love all of them. Thank you so much." And then a few months later, we ended up having a good relationship with them, and they were like, "We love what you're building. We kind of just want to have one sole sponsor on this account that we believe in, and we want that to be you guys." So like literally shit posting like stuff that was really pissing people off like in the beginning too. Like I was saying some stuff under some like really serious CoinFession posts, like and like making light of the situation and being funny, and you know most people thought it was funny, but like of course some people are like, how could you say that?
Yeah.
But that eventually carried over to like, you know, a really serious sponsorship that's actually benefited us quite a bit. So I think yeah, I think a lot of the companies moving forward are going to be very shitpost heavy. And it's funny, like the shit posters are the ones that are kind of just getting all the jobs now. It's very different than it was in 2017, at least from my perspective. I wasn't as deep in the industry back then. I was just kind of like buying random coins, but like for the marketing side of things, I don't think there would have been a place for me in 2017 at all. You know, it was all way too serious.
Yeah. How do you prevent, obviously you wouldn't do this obviously because you're kind of baked into the industry and know how it works, but how annoying is it when you see like a large account just immediately pivot to trying to kind of do that Steve Buscemi meme where it's like, how are you doing for like fellow kids or whatever it is, like when you see
Oh
like
yeah.
McDonald's and fucking Burger
Yeah.
King.
Yeah, it's funny because they started doing it a little bit before. I even like kind of credit them a little bit on the shitposty side a little bit more than crypto, because what like Wendy's and there were a couple of them that used to do that like what 4 or 5 years ago where they would try and do that, and it is very transparent. Very rarely like do you see someone that really gets it. It is really cringy, but I applaud them for trying. I think more Web2 companies are going to start having to do that. Like I remember when I was looking for a job, right before I knew I was going to do crypto again, I was like on Indeed and all these sites trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I don't know if you know what Shoney's is. You probably don't know what Shoney's is because you're not from the. Okay, Shoney's is like, how do I explain Shoney's? Shoney's is like where everyone's grandma goes to eat breakfast buffets. Like it's like the most like completely just like out of touch brand with any generation, like 50-year-old or below. And I saw they were hiring for a new Twitter person, and I was like, please God, I was like, please let me run the Shoney's Twitter. Like that would be the funniest. Like I don't even care how much you pay me, just let me run the Shoney's Twitter. So like I don't know. It's just funny seeing. I know a lot more Web2 companies are going to start pivoting to that. I just don't know how the audiences are going to respond, because even with IDEX, like I still get people replying to me. I get the reply guys all the time, like, "Oh, quit shit posting and go build your protocol." And I'm like, guys, I just tweet. I don't build anything. Like it's like people that think that I do all the roles of the company. But yeah, I don't know. It's a funny thing, but it is cringy thing though. The cringiest is I hate shitting on like the Web3 like NFT community, but like the cringiest is seeing like it's very obvious like the like NFT super deep Web3 NFT community sees what works in deep crypto Twitter, and they try and mimic it really hard, like the GM culture and like all that stuff, and they just like super lean into it and go super hard on it. And like I'm friends with a lot of those people. I love them. I'm not taking too much shade on them, but it's like that's more the cringy side to me, is like it almost feels like you're capitalizing off of something as opposed to like actually understanding the culture or integrating yourself into the culture in some kind of way. But yeah, I mean, I guess I can't really, marketing is marketing, so I can't really hate on it. You know, whatever works.
Yeah, true. What's happening with your new podcast?
So then, yeah, the new podcast, I'm doing that with my friend Ro. We had our first episode come out with Jack Butcher, which is the checks guy. I've known Jack for a long time, IRL. He lives in Nashville, where I just moved from. we had a really good first episode, and then after the first episode, we had some people interested in maybe coming on board on the investment side, so we paused things a little bit. And we've got some really good episodes locked in. Between myself and Ro, we're so networked in the industry that like we're able to bring some maybe more unique guests on to talk just growth, and the idea behind the podcast is literally just anything to do with growth. So, you know, it can be meme pages, it can be serious marketing strategists, it can be anything. And the funny thing about today's world is literally everyone, like every single person on the internet, all they care about is growing their account, whether they're just like a regular person on Twitter or like an actual company. Everyone just wants to have a bigger audience. So our thesis is everyone will want to watch it because everyone wants to know a way to grow online. So yeah, that's, you know, we're in a holding pattern for the next couple weeks, and we have 2 more episodes in the bag ready to go, and then a few more interviews lined up. But I'm super excited about it. It's called Growth Bros. The first episode with Jack Butcher is out right now. Really good episode. It'll probably be another month or 2 before we really start our push with it. But yeah, it's the second podcast I've started. I had another one a couple years ago with a best friend of mine that just kind of fizzled out. But I kind of love the podcast vibe. I'm shy in person, but like when it comes to podcasting, I'm more able to ask questions and like let the other person talk. I like the vibe a lot, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully in the next couple of months we have some more content rolling out.
Yeah, it's something I'm super interested in as well, and I know there's a few others in the industry that are really heavily focused on it. And the beauty of growth in this industry, I think it's because it's you don't have all the tools that you would have in a traditional kind of like e-commerce company or traditional kind of Web2 company, and particularly a lot of kind of data privacy and protection is completely removed because of pseudo anonymous wallets and shit like that. But I'm completely fascinated by it. I really like what the likes of Quest and Guild and Galaxy and this fee protocol and things like that are doing. Just trying to push what people will buy into and stuff like that. It's like super interesting to me. The Hash First guys are doing something really, really cool with regards to like governance participation. They've built like a full game around it, trying to hack growth that way. Had Andrew Saunders, who was on as like the chief marketing officer at Arbitrum, and now he's pivoted to Hashflow as well. But like I listen to. Do you listen to like Lenny's podcast or anything like that? That's more of a growth product focus. So there's obviously an appetite and demand for it, and I listen to that shit all day. So I'll be lapping it up.
I might have to hit you up and have you send me some alpha on podcasts to listen to. I've like fallen out of the podcast loop a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a real good one. Do you think there's any other kind of? I was going to even look at LinkedIn for growing like the blockmates, particularly on the content side. But every time I go over there, I just die of cringe, and I just can't take them seriously.
Dude, I haven't logged into my LinkedIn in 6 years. It's funny. My partner on Growth Bros is really bullish on LinkedIn, but more so on the on like finding sponsors for the podcast side as opposed to, you know, actually growing the brand. So yeah, I really don't know. I don't know anything about LinkedIn. I don't know how the platform works. I don't really know the purpose of it. What it just feels like, I guess it's just like a flex of like what you've done professionally. Is it's just like a live resume, I guess. I really don't know. I have like a really cheesy thing written up from like 6 years ago. I wouldn't even know my login to it. So yeah, I have no opinions on LinkedIn whatsoever.
It's just full of like hustle porn.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I did this, like people who get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and jump in an ice bath and shit like that, and like meditate for 25 hours a day and shit.
There's content on it now. Okay.
It's like long form, like it's basically transposing like how a thread would work, but in like long form with like a load of motivational shit and like way too many hashtags and shit. But it drives me insane. And there's a good Twitter page called The State of LinkedIn.
Okay.
So it's just like trashing people who are just being awesome. ultra LinkedIn-ish.
That's awesome. So it's like kind of like a TikTok investors, but for LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's exactly
awesome.
what it is.
That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I haven't, man. That's a whole different world. I haven't even touched. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's so funny, man. Twitter's taken up so much of my life the last 2 years. I'm so like, it's funny. Even Instagram doesn't even seem like a good place to even put your crypto brand, which is strange to me. Like, uh, something about, I don't know, something about the return on Instagram. Like, I've thought about growing an Instagram page multiple times for things, but like for some reason that doesn't even convert. I guess it's just a different fan base or a different niche, and they just don't really care about crypto for the most part. But like, have you experimented with Instagram at all for y'all stuff?
Yeah, we've got. I mean, I started. God, it must have been 4 years ago now. Like the original Blockmates account, and I started simultaneously with an Instagram account as well. I had like a personal account like long before that, but I was like the actual brand and content platform. It started off with Twitter and Instagram, and then Twitter traction just went up and to the right, and like Instagram was just like friends and family. It just didn't do anything. And the problem is, like, and we're seeing it now with like trying to push the newsletter over there and trying to push the newsletter through Facebook. The problem is, like, your algo starts picking up as if you're some kind of fucking Forex trader who's trying to get you to buy into their paid group or some shit. So it's like you immediately get tied in with that bunch. And then people.
And for some reason, those guys get pushed. Like they push those guys. Like it's so like they push like Instagram pushes the most scam ass people. It blows my mind. I don't understand how that algo works, but like every single time I get on there, it's like the same 4 or 5 dudes trying to get me to trade Forex, and I'm like, guys. Like, what this is not what you need to be putting in front of like 15-year-olds. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird space. It's the same. I kind of given up on it for now. I'm sure I'll go back to it at some point. Maybe they'll pivot, but like right now, like Twitter and maybe Facebook, and if I can find a Reddit guy, like that's where I'm gonna focus.
What about TikTok?
TikTok is something that needs to be explored for sure. I haven't had the time or like the resources to figure it out. It's funny, at least from like my old music industry friends, like they figured out the algorithm like crazy to just like super growth hack their artists. And the same with like Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. It's the same formula for all of them, because you can just, and YouTube Shorts, like you can just take and like paste the same format across all 4 platforms. I think there is a lot in TikTok to be extracted. Because it's such a wide, weird audience. It's not just like kids, like 15-year-old kids on there. It's like a lot of like older people too, which is weird. And I just haven't figured it out yet. And I haven't had, my biggest thing is like, what content do I put out? Like it's got to, like, if you're gonna put something out on TikTok, you have to have a face, you have to have a personality to do it. I would prefer not to do it. And like it's just one of those things where the resources haven't been there to really explore TikTok that much. I don't know. I mean, with our podcast, we have a guy who's going to clip everything and upload to TikTok for us. So maybe that'll change the game there. But as far as like IDEX is concerned, or any other projects like that, I haven't really figured out a way to capitalize on it. I don't know if you guys have had success there with podcast clips or.
Well, the clips. You can kind of see, you can kind of predict what's going to do well and what's not going to do well, right? So the clips on TikTok do extremely well if you mention making money or Bitcoin or a picture, like an emoji of a $sign in it. Like, I think we've got like, there's a couple of videos that are like 20,000-30,000 views, and it's just like me talking about fucking Doge or something on like the weekly one that we do as Blockmates. And it's like it's completely fucking soul destroying, because like all day every day we'll be recording, we'll be trying to speak to like the cutting edge of like DeFi and NFTs and whatever you want to call it, and then you like post that and it's like 100 views. You talk about like Doge or fucking Pepe, and it's like
Pepe,
orders of magnitude higher, and it's just like, I hate the people who do like the whole clickbait thumbnail game, but I can kind of see why they do it, because it's completely soul destroying if you're trying to do it legit.
You kind of have to do it. You have to buy in. Like, algorithm is king. You have to buy into it. I'm lucky that Twitter, for some reason, the algorithm absolutely loves me. I don't know why. And like, I don't have to do anything. I mean, you can call my like my humor cringy or whatever, blah blah blah. But like, I don't have to do any of the super cringy like super GM posts every morning, or like I don't have to lean into the algorithm that hard for the algorithm to like me. And I've gotten lucky there, but I know like if I go to TikTok, I'm gonna have to like sell out and just go all in on like the clickbait stuff, which I guess I'm fine with. Whatever, I don't really care. Like the internet's kind of like a video game to me anyway, so I don't really care how I'm seen or interpreted. Once I turn my phone off, like I go live my real life, none of it really matters. But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see how it works with the podcast stuff. We're just gonna have it clipped up, and just have like tiny like 1 minute clips, or I don't even know how long TikTok is now. Like tiny clips of the podcast, and just see how that does it first. And I want to start doing more video content with Pancakesbrah. Like I've been doing a lot of the WASI videos where I just abuse Inversebra and like kick him around and like set him on fire and like do funny stuff. And it's so funny. I've posted a few of those videos on Instagram Reels, and no one on Instagram knows what Inversebra is or even what's going on. And three or four of them have gone viral, and they just think it's like, they think it's funny that I'm not speaking in it or anything. I'm just walking around with this doll and like abusing it. And something about that just catches the algorithm. So I'm like, okay, there's something here to that. So like, I'm going to test out some things there. Yeah, I don't know. There's a few things there I'm going to try out with. But right now I'm like really bullish on Twitter. I really need to dedicate my time to growing my account again. Even in the bear market, like I'm growing pretty decently, and just get ready for this bull run at some point, whenever that is. And yeah, and just kind of super grow the account. Are you still actively growing like blockmates in like a strategic way, or are you kind of just letting it naturally grow?
So I think with Twitter, I don't see, like, I know how I could grow it, and I could be a really annoying kind of fucking thread boy every single day, just talking about fucking airdrops. But I know that's not going to get me anywhere in the long run. And we're slowly moving it away from like me being single point of like single tone of voice, and getting it towards more of like a media company over the next like 6 months, which will come with like the new website rollout. I know the tricks of the trade on how to grow it. I don't see the necessary point of growing it now when there's no new audience coming in. We're just kind of all sloshing money around. We're all just shit posting in this circle. So I'm not going to put a lot of time and effort into doing that just then. I think the time will come, as you say. But the other areas I'm really interested in growing. So YouTube, that is the single hardest thing I've ever tried to grow in my life.
I was going to ask how that's going, because we're starting tough. That. Yeah. Is it just the algorithm? Because with YouTube, what I've heard is like it's tough for a really long time, and then you get those spikes that'll eventually kind of get you some momentum. But I've heard people where it can take years before that really happens.
Yeah, I think we've figured out a few little tricks now. So a lot of our traffic comes from organic search and recommendation. So we're doing something right on that front. And I'll send you over like what we do on there, but it just seems to be a lot of like crypto audience isn't necessarily here for like cutting edge DeFi protocols and maybe us chatting shit just like as we are now. It's more about like, what's Bitcoin going to do over the next 24 hours, and am I going to be rich by buying the next dog shit Inu or something like that. And if you want to lean into that, you can definitely do it. But I don't know. Trying to get short, like YouTube Shorts up there a lot more now, because a lot of traffic, you can see a lot of traffic comes through directly from Shorts, and it filters in back to the main channel and stuff like that. So that helps. But we've got a few tools and stuff. I'll send you them over if you haven't got them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've heard conflicting things with like the shorts. Like some channels I know that are pretty big saying like their shorts are huge and they're getting them a lot of subscribers, but then like those subscribers aren't carrying over and watching the long form content. So you're getting a lot of views on these shorts, and then that's all you're getting views on. I haven't experimented with it enough to know. I did grow a YouTube page way back in the day in high school, only to like 15,000 subscribers or something, just like a video blog thing. for fun, but like ever since then, I haven't dipped my toes into it. So I will be soon though. With the podcast, we're going to really lean into like the long form podcast and then doing clips, the 10-minute clips for the podcast. So I'm gonna have to relearn all of that. Hopefully we can hire a guy that can at least teach us how to do it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on. And as I say, if you find any tricks of the trade as you're kind of growing out on YouTube, let me know.
Oh yeah, same to you. Yeah, if you don't mind, shoot me over that podcast you were talking about as well, that growth podcast.
Yeah,
I would
no
love
worries,
to take a
no
listen
worries.
to it. Awesome, man.
All right. Right, well, thanks very much for coming on, and I suppose it's just the beginning of the day for you, so enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm going to go and get some sleep now, so
all right, man.
I'll speak to you soon.
Have a good night. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take it easy, bud. Bye.
All right, man.